Thanks for stopping by, guys, and welcome back to Scrap Mechanic. And today we're going to be looking at a new helicopter design. The last time I looked at helicopters, I was doing the attack helicopter. Now today we're going to be looking at a new multi-role helicopter known as the Tadpole. Now, since you guys have asked, I have done multiple different control schemes for this. I will be talking about those in a second, but I do want to kind of look at the creation first. This is the control scheme I'm used to using, which is set up for my mouse and my specific mouse alone, but I will talk about the other ones shortly. So really quickly looking at it, it is just like the attack helicopter. There are a few differences with the mechanism itself. I tweaked some of the numbers for like pitch and roll to better suit this helicopter specifically. I also changed the amount of thrusters on the rotor. The rotors all have 3 each now, which means I have a little bit more lift because this is also built for picking up equipment. There's a small hook on the bottom. It's a little difficult and could probably be perfected a bit better, but it is still functional in this state. And it is a transport-based helicopter, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 passenger seats with an extra seat for our pilot. Quickly hopping in, this is just like the attack helicopter was in most respects, how to use it and how to fly it. Go ahead and press 7, which will turn on the thrusters, W to increase throttle, and we will start to lift off. Here we go. And let's get into a decent hover. Come on. There we go. Now we're in a stable hover. This can do a much more stable hover than the original attack helicopter, and it means that you can actually walk about inside this little crew compartment area while hovering. You do have to get back into the pilot seat eventually because you will start to drift and tilt because this isn't perfectly balanced. Just make some modifications to our hover. There we go. And then I can get back out, walk around, and if you're in the crew compartment and you need to get out, you can jump out. Or, since this doesn't have any sort of offensive weapons, you can always just grab a spud gun and shoot out the door at your enemies. That is always an option. So it is just, like I said before, just like the attack helicopter, nimble, you can get around rather easily. But one added feature to this is because it is a multi-purpose carrier, you can also pick up equipment such as small light tanks, artillery, other equipment that you need on a battlefield. Let's get into another hover without hitting that tree there. Let's see if we can hook up to this little tiny tank I have set up. It does need to have some sort of hook to latch onto that little crane grabber, or what do you want to call that, at the bottom can grab onto. Now this is not easy, so I'm going to have to concentrate quite a bit to get this. Let's see how long it takes me. I've had some practice, but I'm still not the best at it. I'm really curious how long it's going to take me to get this. Yep, and there we got it. That was actually much faster than I was expecting that to be. Now I can just throttle up, and there we go. We've picked it up. We are starting to max out these blades. We can still go a little bit more lift, but it's more than enough to get this thing moving. And let's get it over there to that other plateau. We can throttle down because we're picking up a bit faster than I like to. Let's head over here. And let's start throttling down. Now I could drop this from midair, but at the same time my helicopter would become a lot less heavy and I'd have to really compensate with the throttle. Or I could do a nice smooth touchdown, lower my throttle until I'm at a hover, and then let go of the tank itself, at which point I wouldn't go flying off because my throttle would already be pretty low. Yes, I talk with my hands. It's been a while since I've used webcam, by the way. Yes, in videos with no webcam, I do talk like this, just no one can see me. So now we're touching down. Let's go ahead and lower the throttle until we take almost all of the weight off of this little tank we got here. And let's press 8 to let go. Throttle down. We didn't get all the way down like I should have. Close the hook. And there we go. We've just dropped off a little tank. Like I said, this isn't the most powerful. I plan on making a dedicated equipment hauler, essentially, that will be able to pick up much heavier vehicles. This can only do light equipment, such as like the tiny tank. I don't think it can do the Wyvern. I could probably test it, but I really don't think it can. I do know maxing it out, I can pick up another one of these Tadpole helicopters with it, but that is like the limit of it. So get yourself an idea how big this helicopter is. That's the limitations of this helicopter, is lifting itself plus another one of itself. If that makes sense. So real quick, let's go ahead and touch down, and I will talk about the other versions with the specific controls so that you guys can hopefully use them. A lot of people wanted me to do the attack helicopter with specific controls. I have not done that, but I have done that for this version. So let's go ahead and take a look at those. And a nice soft touchdown. Alright, and here are the two other versions. On the right hand side we should have the Tadpole K. On the left side we have the Tadpole N. The Tadpole K is built for the number keys and was meant to... Correction, the Tadpole K on the right hand side was built for the keyboard, which is controlled with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as well as W, A, S, and D, and was designed to slightly mimic the tank controls that I use already with all my turrets and such, to hopefully make it a bit easier to learn. The one over here, which is the Tadpole N, is for the numpad. If you use your numpad for controls, like I know some people do, it should work a little bit better that way. And I will cover these real quick. Going over to the Tadpole K, yes, this is the K. Top in. Get in the seat. And for this, 5 should be your rotors on. W is throttle up. Let's go ahead and get taken off here real quick. Now we're starting to hover. 2 should pitch the nose up. 3 pitches the nose down. Similar to how my cannons, 2 would pitch the cannon up. 3 would pitch the cannon down. And then 1 is left, tilting left. 4 tilts right, just like my cannon would rotate left and right. But as for the actual rotation of the plane itself, or not the plane, the helicopter, is A and D. There's an A and D converter, so when you're doing your yaw, it is A and D, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 is your main pitch and roll. If you do want to invert the controls, I will show you how to do that as well. Let me see if I can land this first. I don't have much practice with this version, so it's going to be a fun time to try and pilot this, but it is possible. It's just not what I'm used to. And touchdown is a little rough of a touchdown, but if you are used to inverting controls or vice versa, you can come back here and I will show you which bearings you need to control, which are these 4 right here that are in line all together. All these you just swap, and now you're, oh, not that one, no, go back, there we go, and that one. That way you can invert your pitch if you're used to flying like that. This is set up to how I'm used to flying a bit more. I'm used to the default controls, where some people I know are used to invert flight controls. Now, this one here is hooked up to the numpad. Unfortunately, I can't really show it because the game won't register my numpad properly. It's really weird. I don't know how to fix it. I've tried fixing it. I do know some people who use this numpad control scheme who have flown it and have basically said it works fine. The controls should be, let me hop in the seat. I might be able to replicate it with the numbers across the top of my keyboard, but this is going to be fun. Nope, 7 starts the rotors. W and S for throttled like normal. And looking at my numpad, one pitch is left, or 1 rolls left, 2 pitches the nose down, 5 pitches the nose up, 3 rolls right, then 4 and 6 are my yaw. So let's get into a hover. 4 is yaw left, 6 is yaw right. 5 should pitch my nose down, 2 pitches my nose up, 1 rolls left, 3 rolls right. And if you have a numpad, you can look at the numpad, and it's supposed to kind of make a arrow key sort of design. I do know other people who set the same bindings up for like what, TFGH and something like that, to kind of give themselves another numpad that they can keybind. But this is not my normal control scheme. I have no clue how to fly it, and I'm currently flying off into the distance uncontrollably. Unfortunate. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this look at the Tadpole multi-purpose helicopter. I tried to make it as useful as I could to everyone who wanted to use it. Now, this is multi-purpose. It does not serve any sort of attack role. You could put bombs on the bottom of it, but it's not really advised just because of how hard it is to hook those up. I do have some plans to possibly update the attack helicopter once again. I might modify this, but I do also have plans to make a dedicated transport helicopter for large equipment and tanks. So that is something that might be coming in the future. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this little look at the new Tadpole helicopter. Anyway, I am going to end the episode here. If you did enjoy, please leave a like. If you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments down below. Enjoy the channel, enjoy what I'm doing, please subscribe. It helps out a lot. And right now, shares help the channel the most. So if you do want to help the channel, please share this episode with a friend. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for sticking around. And until next time, peace.